The national anthems of Egypt, Biladi, 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 and the national anthem of Ethiopia, March Forward, Dear Mother Ethiopia. Wodefit Gesgeshi with Inat Ethiopia. We look at the 11 for Wubetu. Wubetu Abate side, they made two changes from the side that lost against Malawi in this building as the captain Shemelis Bekele comes in for Surafel Dagnachu and Gatok Panom in for Masoud Mohammed in the 11 for the Walia Ibex, looking to pick up at least a point, which would be a big result for Ethiopia in this matchup against Egypt here at the Bingu National Stadium in Lilongwe. Meanwhile, for Egypt, they have made three changes from the side that beat Guinea as Mahmoud Ala is in for Mohamed Ibrahim, Mohamed Magdi Kafsha in for Hamdi Fati, and Mustafa Mohamed Mohamed Mustafa, the number 11. Galatasaray man in for the injured Mohamed Salah, who is not in the lineup or in the call-up for Egypt in this matchup. And it's all crew from Burundi, including the man, you gotta love that name of the official, George Gato Gato. Just the first name is cool by itself, but that's just me. And he's assisted by Elve Kakunze, Willie Habimana, and the fourth official is Jafari Endu Wimana. On the left is the captain of Ethiopia, Shemelis Bekele. On the right, the captain of Egypt, wearing the number 4, Amr Al-Sulaya. And we are about to begin here in Lilongwe. Group D. First placed Egypt, level on points with Malawi coming into this second round of matches in Group D. Malawi and Guinea will about to play in Conakry. We'll see how that match goes as well. In fact, that match will start an hour after this one. So by the end of the 90 minutes here, Malawi will know who is ahead of them or who is behind them, and who is behind them in the standings. If they take a tough trip, that should be a good game too against Guinea. Guinea has a lot of stars and rising players in the world of football. Egypt will be in the red and black kits, and Ethiopia in those gold and green kits. So let's send it out to Bingu National Stadium for Ethiopia-Egypt.
So the referee blows the whistle and away we go in Lilongwe. Egypt get us underway, shooting from right to left in their red shirts, black shorts and socks. Ethiopia, the home side, albeit not on home soil, shooting from left to right. Those green shirts, yellow shorts. Qualification for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. 7-time champions Egypt take on 1-time champions Ethiopia. An energetic start from Egypt, doing a fair amount of pressing at the front. See the pitch not in perfect condition with heavy rain. Seems to have lightened up a little now. That surface will be very slippery. See if it plays a part at any point. Attackers always more interested in these kind of conditions. A slip for a defender or a goalkeeper, of course, always prove highly costly. More likely to be the case than for the attackers, who can well profit from the situation. And there, Mohamed instantly chasing down, putting on pressure and winning self throw deep into Ethiopia territory. Debebe choosing safety first. And a free kick in a decent position for the Pharaohs. Always tricky to defend these ones. Similar to a corner, a shot highly unlikely. But can't be ruled out. The keeper can't totally abandon his goal line. And a good angle to put in an attacking cross, an in-swinger. We'll see if it's an in-swinger or an out-swinger. Right and left-footed option, standing over the ball. Jeffrey Michael getting his wall lined up just so. It will be the in-swinger. Magdi making his way away, delivered in, headed away at the near post. Zizo's free kick. He'll go over to take the corner now. Taken short. Lifted in by Magdi, but just too much on it. Trying to find someone at the back stick. And Ethiopia will be able to clear their lines now. It's being pressed back for the first 3 minutes. Would appear to be more of a 4-3-3 for Egypt. Mohamed leading the line with Marmoush and Zizo either side. He'll be confident on such a strong run. Those 2 penalty shootout losses to Senegal. The only matches they've not won in their last 9 outings. A nervy moment here. Winning the free kick. It's as though they might get caught napping in their own box there. Kabaski getting it out to his defender. Got swarmed by green shirts. Ashore, the man. With the right decision in the end. Been somewhat hacked at by Panom, but a heavy moment there. Ethiopia, certainly the underdogs in the group. The lowest ranked, 140th in the world. Egypt, the top ranked, 32nd. One of the highest in CAF. A sloppy pass out to the left though, awarding Ethiopia the possession. Crowd pleased to see a bit of possession from their side. Not the best though. And switching back to Egypt on the attack again after that errant pass. Free kick going the way of the hosts. It looks like Ethiopia have 2 men sitting deep now, slightly more defensive than they were against Malawi. Both Panom and Johannes in the defensive midfield role. More like a 4-2-3-1 than the 4-1-4-1. It's nicely taken. Nice turn. Somewhere to find a teammate. He's still got the ball, has a go. Somewhat sliced at the effort in the end, but promising signs. It was Bekele, the captain. Good work with Nasir. Rush of blood to the head with the shot in the end. Well wide, not the right contact. Great control to start the move from the captain. Elwench. Ashraf looking to move things forward over to the right wing. Not quite able to pick out Marmoush. Nearly caught on the ball there, Johannes. Doing enough to hold on. It's Panom. Distinctive 1.9 metre frame. Attempted ball over the top, but neither man running onto the ball. Egypt far happier to pass it around the back, build up that possession, work their way gradually forwards if they can. Can't on this occasion. They'll get a second shot at it. Zizo. Squeezing out. Michael. Forward to Bekele. Looks for the through ball, but again, just the last pass lacking. We'll see if Egypt miss Salah noticeably. Obviously, the hero of the nation, by far the biggest star in the squad, not in the entirety of CAF. Some nice work in his absence here. Zizo trying to lay it back to Mamouche, but slightly to his right, cut out. Of course, this presents the opportunity for some of the lesser-known names to shine, make their stake as the biggest star on the pitch. Mohamed with the winner in the first game, also playing for an established European team in Galatasaray. Mamouche spent the season with Stuttgart, excuse me. 3 goals and 5 assists for his club during the season. Generally, the rest of the team playing their football in Egypt. A few Zamalek players, Pyramids, Al Ali. Almost the entirety of the Ethiopian team playing their football in their home country. Just Bekele, the captain, plays for El Guna in Egypt, and Nasir spent the season in Ethiopia playing for Ethiopian Coffee. He's on loan from Mamelodi Sundowns. Of course, play their football in South Africa. Another nice take. And good control to avoid the sliding tackle. A better spell from Ethiopia than perhaps expected, considering the first few minutes. They're certainly holding their own so far. And here another chance if it gets the ball first. It was Wench came in, flying in. Concede that throw in on the right-hand side. And we'll get a second attempt. Nice ball out by the goalkeeper. And showing some decent play, surrounded by red shirts. They're not afraid to try and work their way through with a bit of tiki-taka. Won't simply be a case of route 1 and park the bus. despite the formidable status of their opponents. A break now for an Egyptian down on the turf. It's Emama Ashur. He's quickly back up. Just his 5th cap, the 24-year-old. Sportingly played back to Gabaski, and we will get underway again. Just caught there, Ashraf. Magdi, sorry. Johanna's the guilty party. Again over in the direction of Marmoush. Cut out. Yusuf might have a busy day in that left fullback role. It's to be something of a plan for the Pharaohs. That long crossfield ball for Marmoush to run onto. Dealt with so far. As mentioned, Pharaohs the most successful team in AFCON history. 7 wins. First 2 entries into the tournament in the 50s. And the next victory came almost 3 decades later in 1986 on home soil. 4th in 1998, or 3 in a row between 2006 and 2010. That proving to be the last one, as they then bizarrely failed to qualify for the 3 following tournaments. Returning with 2 runners-up spots in 2017 and this year's tournament, sandwiching a round of 16 exits on home soil in 2019. This attempt at a flick on by Marmoush. Crossfield diagonal ball did pick out Zizo. Decides to lay it off rather than cross it in. Now with Ashraf. He can't pick out Zizo himself. And Ethiopia look to break. Nearly, again, nicely worked the first half. Just that final ball, not quite there. Marmoush turns. But a long leg of Panom nicking in. The shoulder there on the left, and some appreciation from the crowd. And a huge amount of pressure now on the ball from Egypt, allowing Ethiopia time to pick out their pass, perhaps conserving energy for later in the game. Not the hardest conditions in terms of stamina, certainly, this game. Shouts of a penalty from the home crowd. Nasir challenged fairly, in the opinion of the referee. Somewhat risky one, though. Kind of shielding the ball to win it back rather than taking the ball directly. Nonetheless, now Egypt's back on the attack. Hard work there from Magdi. Eventually coming to nothing though, battling with his opposite number. Space on the left here for Yusuf to run into. Trying to thread the needle, but free kick given away. For what, says Abate Nasir. Here, the penalty shout. Certainly clumsy. Imam Mashur again to say you've seen them given, not on this occasion. Wench closed down by Bekele and easily just booting the ball out under a huge amount of pressure. Lay it off to Ethiopia. Have a throw in a decent area. Again, very condensed. Crossed in by Bekele. It'll work its way all the way out to Hottessa. Lays it back to Panam. There's a go. And we have our first shot on target for the hosts. The first touch by the big midfielder, creating enough space. El Salia having to leave him. A shot straight down the throat of Gabaski. And they're closed down again by Panam. An imposing figure to be running directly at you. Hard to get the ball past. Shot there of Ehab Galal. It's just his second game in charge of the Pharaohs. 54-year-old, former defender, now manager from Egypt. There's a better through ball. Nasir carrying on, playing it into the 6-yard box, and the ball finding its way into the net. Taking the deflection off the sliding Egyptian, but Dawa Hottessa with the flips to celebrate the opening goal. And do the, albeit travelling, home fans love that. Great work on the right by Abate Nasir. Yeah, staying on his feet despite the sliding tackle of Allah. And then Omar Geba, the right back, trying to stop the shot from Hottessa. But if anything, deflecting it further away from his goalkeeper. Gabaski helpless as the ball slowly trundled into the bottom left corner. 1-0 Ethiopia. So then, that wasn't in the script for the Pharaohs. And they will now officially need more than one goal, rather, if they are to take all 3 points. It's all they needed against Guinea, and they waited almost the entire 90 minutes to find that goal. But now, as we're just about to hit the halfway point of the first period, they are 1 down. Wubetu, Abate, yeah. Be pleased. with his side's work so far. 43. Ethiopian former player, played domestic football in Ethiopia for Pulp and Work It in the 1990s. Perfect ball across as well, has to be said, by Nasir. Been lively, the 22-year-old. Produced problems already for the Egypt backline. And then finding that end product that his side had been lacking up to that point. And first booking of the day. Going to Panom. Not sure exactly what for. See now. It's potentially just the tackle itself. Seems a little harsh. Referee well within his rights. Panem will now have to be careful for the remaining 66 or so minutes. Ethiopia on the break again. Through for Nasir. He carries on, not brought down, and just misses doubling the lead. The ball crawling across the goal line, off the far post. Looked like it was going to find its way in. Great ball through from Emmanuel Gebremichael. He held off El Wench, stayed on his feet. Looked like he'd found the bottom corner, but the ball just striking that left-hand post, going agonisingly along the line and out for a goal kick. Well, if the Egypt defence wasn't paying full attention to Nasir, they definitely will be now. Created the first, agonisingly close to the second, and there's space here again. Egypt absent in their defensive duties. Not quite able to make the most of the space on that occasion. Yet to have a shot, let alone one on target as well, the favourites. Well kept in from what was an overhit pass. Ethiopia retreat all the way to goalkeeper Gebremichael. And again, Nasir, this time losing out, nearly through again. Again, Ethiopia get the ball back. It's not really happening so far for Egypt. Good work down the right by Tunjo. Ethiopia looking in control. Egypt certainly had the control of the possession early on, but never truly threatened. Set piece and a corner, but that was about it. And work to do for Galal now. Technically currently boasts a 100% win record, having only taken charge of the single game, the 1-0 win over Guinea on Sunday. That very much under threat now. Previously managed big Egyptian clubs such as Zamalek and Pyramids. Took charge of the national side at the start of April after Carlos Queiroz's departure. Abate, on the other hand, has been in the job since September 2020. He's had a decent first 18 months or so in the dugout. disappointing AFCON campaign. But his side showing plenty so far. That cross not quite where it needed to be from Michael. Lots of time to pick out his cross. Not quite getting the whip needed. Looking, I think, for Bekele in the middle. And again, Egypt now seemingly reduced to long balls for the moment. We approach the half-hour mark. Momentum has totally swung from the first 5 or so minutes. It was Ethiopia resorting to long balls. Again, that's to nobody in particular. Straight to the hands of Vasil Michael. A young goalkeeper, just 21. Plays for Bahir Den Kenema. It's just his 8th cap. Options on the Egyptian bench. As mentioned at the start of the coverage, a huge 44-man squad chosen by Galal. Very early for a change, but the match certainly at this point not going the way the manager would have hoped. Over the top for Marmoush to chase. He will get there this time. Played back to Ashraf. Marmoush. And Salia. Losing the ball. And a nice step over and 1-2. Throw going the way of Egypt. That long diagonal again, pushed as well to keep it in. The layback from Mohammed, not finding Magdi. Marmoush seems to have switched wings. Started on the right, now very much on the left. Maybe Zizo, you'd assume, now on the right. Panom. Unable to control it. It's got to be careful on that yellow card. That would be an incredibly harsh second yellow, but taking away the free kick. Free kick this time going the way of Ethiopia. Showing a lot of energy in this first half an hour. See if they're able to keep it up for the full 90. Pressing, charging down Egypt whenever they get, certainly at least towards the halfway line. That's seemingly a very quickly taken free kick towards Nasir, not coming off. Ashraf. Marmoush. Beating one man. Running into the second though. Bekele picks the ball up. Nicely done. Through ball, not quite there again. The ambition certainly there for the hosts. And they showed what can happen when it comes off. And the ambition is matched by the execution, with the opening goal and then very nearly a second. Hormush caught, referee allowing play to continue. And the Egyptians do take on a man, they very quickly seem to run into a second before they can readjust. That's how Ethiopia are winning a lot of their balls. Case in point, now into Nasir, back to Panom. Nice ball out to the left for Hottessa. In no hurry. They'll pick their moments now. They have the advantage. The space here ahead of Bekele. Choosing to take it on himself. Here is Bekele. And turned in, and it is 2-0 now. Or perhaps it's not. Flag has gone up. Nasir thinking he'd got his goal. He was denied not long ago. Good to see the replay of that. Certainly. Yeah, it's close there. And so he certainly wasn't a problem with Nasir himself, because he was behind the ball at the time of the pass or shot, whatever you choose it to be. Perhaps it was Bekele just needed to hold his run a little longer. Egypt hanging on here at the skin of their teeth, but for a centimetre or two, first on the shot and then on the offside call, they could be 3-0 down. Good defensive work there by Ethiopia. Composure to bring it out as well. And here again for Nasir. And a throw. Here we are going to get an early substitution for Egypt. Galan not happy with his first attempt at a starting 11. Could say understandably. Interesting to see what the change will be. As mentioned, a fair few of the bigger names out through injury or COVID. Oh, how he would love to bring on a fresh Mohamed Salah right now. He'll hope it will still be 1-0 by the time the change is made. Taking Ethiopia again, with Gabriel Michael on the right. It looks to be Omar Kamal, who's waiting to come on for the Pharaohs. Who is a defender, plays for Future FC. So maybe more a knock having to be dealt with, or being carried by a member of the back four. Of course, Kamal could be utilised as a winger as well, so we'll see who he comes on for. As much as Egypt obviously now need to come from behind and need to attack, have to be wary. They can't make it an attacking change. So they're being pulled apart a lot, as it is. Yusuf trying to find Nasir, cut out this time. Not even able to really get out of their half in possession that time. Ethiopia content to pass it between their two centre-backs. They'd already be thinking of the final whistle a small amount. They'd prefer a 2-goal cushion. And whilst it's a bit early for time wasting, it couldn't be an issue if they make it 2-0. And here is Kabele, and he does make it 2-0. Shemeles Bekele, the captain, and you can't say it hasn't been coming. The through ball, beautifully weighted again. They haven't all been beautifully weighted. Some haven't found their way through, but the ones that have ended in huge chances. Nasir hitting the post. Kelly setting up what would be the disallowed goal a few minutes ago. This time, certainly onside. Nicely weighted again by Gebre Michael. Gets his second assist of the night. Fired into the roof of the net by Bekele to double Ethiopia's lead. Frustration for Gabaski. It's like a change has been made. I saw Ibrahim Adel there. And we also have Haned Lashin. Entirely sure what that assistant is doing. He's held up the numbers 4 and 11, who are both currently on the pitch. 4 and 17, I think is what he meant. And Salia, the captain, makes way for Lashin. Well, a long way to go now, or rather a long way to come back for Egypt. We'll see if there's another substitution confirmed. I'm sure I saw Adele. And Omar Kamal seemingly has also made his way onto the pitch. Potentially a triple substitution there. We've only officially seen graphics for one. So not totally sure who has made their way off the pitch beyond El Salia. Zizo out on the right, but unable to keep it in. And Nasir looking to get away again. Could get worse for Egypt before it gets any better. Allah, the man to deal with it. Ethiopia fans will be loving this. Of course, they'll have been optimistic. All fans tend to be heading to a match, but against 7-time winners, finalists of the competition earlier this year, they wouldn't have been expecting to be 2-0 up at the break, and it could well have been 3 or 4. But for a few degrees, striking the post and a few centimetres in an offside call. There is Nasir holding it up. Bekele trying to work his way through. Free kick goes to Egypt. It would appear to be Magdi and Ashraf, the other two players who have come off. So Kamal will go into the left-back spot, one would assume. Change of shape potentially in the midfield. Lashi in a straight swap for his captain. Well, they're going down on the edge of the box, but no appeal. Yes, Adel, maybe slightly more attacking option than Magdi. Going down very easily before he really even got to Tunjo, right back. Nice work again on the right between Tunjo and Gebre Michael. It'll be 2 minutes of additional time. Can Egypt do anything before the break? Pace there, getting back to intercept. Ethiopia still with plenty of energy, and they're through again. Could it be 3-0? Trying to go around Gabaski. Keeper does enough. Danger's not over yet. The effort from outside the area cleared. They'll look to break themselves now, but the glass cut out. And through again. Those through balls for Nasir, proving very effective against what it must be said is looking like a somewhat sluggish Egyptian back line. Nasir using his pace and his acceleration. Beautiful pass through. It was Gebre Michael this time, I think. Gabaski just about doing enough. Egypt with a final throw of the dice, maybe. And it will be them trying to hang on to a 2-0 rather than anything else. Great ball through from Nasir, just ahead of slightly slow-moving Panom. He lays it off, and the effort from the edge of the area, palmed out by Gabaski. Offside flag up. And Egypt leaves to hear the half-time whistle.
What a display by Ethiopia in the first half. It could be 4-0 in favor of Ethiopia, but it's only 2-0 in favor of Ethiopia. Egypt will have some major regrouping to do for the next 40. 5 minutes. But before that, we have a fantastic Express halftime coming up next.
Pick up where they left off with a stunning this Group D qualifier for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. It is a free kick for Ethiopia. In the first 30 seconds of the second half, Captain Shemeles Bekele standing over it on set-piece duty. Nasir bursting into the box again. His youthful acceleration and stuff of nightmares for El Wench and Allah, who were far from over the hill at 27 and 31 respectively, but struggling to keep up with the 22-year-old. Ethiopia here again, great work on the edge of the box, and he's broken through. And almost incredible work there, I think, from Hottessa. Literally surrounded by red shirts. In fact, it must have been Gabriel Michael who's run back over to the right wing. Indeed, yes, there is Hottessa on the left. So Emmanuel Gabriel Michael has 4 or 5 Egyptian players around him, somehow wriggling free and then into the box, and Gabaski saving his backline, rushing out and smothering the ball before Gabriel Michael could get there. Egypt now with a free kick of their own, looped in and in the net, but the whistle long gone. The other Gabriel Michael, Fasil, catching the ball, but seemingly hit by Mahmoud Allah. Keeper still down. Did look an awkward one. And Zizo with the free kick. Looped on. Keeper doing everything right, and yeah. Allah flying into his midriff. He'll be checked out by the medics. See another angle of the incident. Flick on, tempting one, but Allah just charging in. There's Mohammed there turning in for what would have been 2 goals in 2 games, but whistle had clearly gone beforehand, and rightly so. Ethiopia's number 1, Bereket Amare, warming up just in case he's required. There's been little to do for Fasil Gabriel Michael so far. Now back on his feet and seems okay. They have been very thorough with their checks. Head injuries taken very seriously, and rightly so these days. We're back underway now. A bit of space here. An effort from range. Well over. Ashur looks back at the turf, but he's pointing, in fact. That's a bobble. We'll see on the replay. Better options. Had 4 men in front of him. Admittedly, a shot. It did take a slight bobble. Before he struck it, but a fair while before. Enough time for him to have compensated for that. Anyway. An attempt at goal, and officially the first for the Pharaohs. Well left. Galal made 3 changes late in the first half. That's a handball against Izo, despite his protestations that it was a shoulder. He had Omar Kamal, Ibrahim Adel and Mahanad Lashin come on. Kamal into left back, Lashin in the middle of the park, Adel a winger on paper. We'll see exactly where he's playing. Doesn't appear to have been a significant change in shape from the 4-3-3 that we started with, so be slightly deeper line behind Marmoush, Mohammed and Zizo. But a slightly more attacking player than Magdi, who he replaced. Ethiopia continuing to press and getting their reward. Egypt having to give away a throw deep inside their own half. Former captain El Salia and Ayman Ashraf, the other 2 men to make way in the first half. Thrown into the box and brilliantly done by Nasir. Shoved off the ball by Allah, legally, says the referee. Just shoulder to shoulder. But brilliant work again by the youngster. Youngster, 22. Young enough. It's unfortunate not to be on the score sheet, but it's a long way to go yet. 1-4 Bekele, not quite able to catch up. Unfortunate for the captain. Nasir in the middle had clearly given up on his captain reaching it. Was not bursting into the box. Got a great record as well, Nasir, with Ethiopia Bana, club side. 32 games, 38 goals. Could find himself with the attentions of some more well-known teams if he can keep that up. Incredible ratio, more than a goal a game. That's Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo kind of stats. Or perhaps more recently, Robert Lewandowski, Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, perhaps. And any forward is aiming for, he'd be content with a 1 goal in 2 games ratio, so this is start to his career. 7 goals from 21 appearances at all levels for Ethiopia. And 4 in 19 for the senior team. But wouldn't be surprised to see that number grow considerably in the long run, if not in the short term. Unfortunate not to have two tonight already. And here, dropping deep to participate in some keep ball with Ramadan Youssef. Tunjo, bursting down the left. Youssef hitting his own man on the floor there. And bit of tension creeping in there. Referee coming in to sort it out. Egypt will be very frustrated with their first half performance. Keen to make amends. Ethiopia can't afford anything silly. And again, it could be in. Here is Nasir. Doing well to hold on, and win a free kick. More clumsiness on the ball from the Pharaohs. Johannes, the man on the turf. Only caught on the ankle. And it will be a yellow card. Nasser there laying it off. It's a sliding tackle by Lachine. Again, nearly caught on the ball. Egypt just can't really get out of their own half at the moment. That's well worked, though. But robbed as soon as they've made it into the Ethiopia half. And here come Ethiopia again. Nasir cuts back. Still got the ball.